I guess, Yogi, first of all, what were your thoughts when you saw the bracket, when you saw your seed?
We're really excited. It's another opportunity for us to go out and showcase what we've done all year, and felt pretty happy, with where we were picked, and we're just pretty excited.
Max, what about you? You've been in this before.
That 5 seed, it's historically, there's a lot of those 12 seeds are, underrated, and, they pull a lot of upsets, but, I think, the mindset we've had all year is, you just gotta be ready. It's when any team makes the tournament, they're good, especially a team, I think they have like 5 losses. They're, a talented team, beat Dayton, at Georgia, at Illinois. They're definitely not gonna get overlooked at all. You can't at this point of the year. You're gonna give them everything you got, scouting, just learn them like the back of your hand.
Out of all the scenarios you guys prepared for, was a 5 seed anything that you expected, like as you're prepping leading up to today?
I mean, we know where we get put, and you're gonna have to play all the same teams to go where you want to go anyway. So, whether you're 3, 4, 5, 10, 16 seed, doesn't matter to us. We're just gonna try to beat whoever's in front of us.
The Big Ten didn't seem like it got a lot of respect in terms of the seeding. I mean, did you guys feel like that? Do you feel like maybe the conference goes into this thing with a little bit of a chip on its shoulder? Anybody?
I mean, seeding wise, it might look like that, but it's such a great conference anyways that we know it's a battle-tested conference, and it's a great one, and teams are going to see that in the tournament.
To Nick or Yogi, what do you guys feel like you learned from last year's tournament experience?
I feel like we've got more guys on this team that are willing to fight for each other. I think that's the biggest thing, that the difference that I see is, the desire, the pride to want to go out there and get a stop for our teammates. So I feel like this team's more connected. Last year's team, a little bit inexperienced with the NCAA tournament, but I've been in it. Max has been in it, so we can give a little bit of wisdom to these guys.
Yogi, what do you guys know about Chattanooga? Have you even had a chance to look at them much yet?
Well, we know that they can score very well, averaging almost up to 77 points per game. They've got a defensive player of the year for their conference. So, we know they have a great all-around game, and we know they got great guards that can score it, great inside presence, very solid on defense. And, a team that only has 5 losses, we know that they're a great team that can play together.
Those kind of initial impressions, is that something, as soon as you guys see the pairings, that's something you pull out your phones and kind of do a little research? I mean, how quickly did you guys start looking up Chattanooga?
We got a lot of people who definitely, hand us things we need to know. We have access to all that on our own. We have, the managers and all the guys do a great job of, telling us what we need to know and getting us prepared, as far as scouting. I know they're up there, working their butts off right now, clipping videos from, all the games they've played, and really trying to, find some areas of attack.
Key ingredients, you guys, to make a run in March. What do you think of the key ingredients to make a series run, Yogi?
The key ingredient, I would say, is play every game like it's your last. You never know what stop in the game is going to be the one for you to win the game. So you just got to have a mindset. You got to be connected. You got to have great fundamentals. You got to refine your fundamentals, refine your techniques, your concepts defensively, because now it's just one and done.
Max, what will you tell the young guys that Yogi said, you guys have been through this before, the young guys who haven't been there, what the whole thing is like, this whole experience?
It's definitely one of a kind. When you come to this time of year, there's just so much pressure on all these teams. The whole way it's set up is, it's not the NBA where you have 7 games. It's one game. You got to come out and you have 40 minutes, maybe more, to prove yourself. You got to make every minute count. However much pressure's on you, you can't break. So you got to be that team that that can withstand more of the pressure than the other team. That when things really get crazy, instead of breaking, you come closer together, and you really just play as one, offensively, defensively, and that's when you really get it going.
Not to be that guy, but I know you talk about taking it one game at a time. Is it going to be a little bit harder to potential for that Kentucky game in the round of 32 in your mind, Yogi?
I don't think it'll be very hard. You know, we're gonna prepare for, you know, Chattanooga just like Kentucky, and I feel like when we get to that game, we'll prepare for Kentucky. But right now, all we're focused on is Chattanooga and just getting them down.
Max, there was that question about key ingredients. I mean, you've been a part of a team that made a run before. Just talk about that.
Yeah, you know, the teams I've been fortunate enough to be on, you know, had just that incredible spirit. You know, when there's so many games at this point, you know, they don't call it March Madness for nothing. So many games at this point just come down to that last possession, the last, whatever, 3 or 4. And you just got to make sure that you make everyone count. You can't lose focus in a game. You know, you got to execute, you know, one less turnover or one more stop could be the difference. And as long as, you know, your team understands that, values the ball, and still plays the game that you want to play, that's when you have a really dangerous team. And I think, you know, if we stay focused in our, you know, mentalities where I think it will be after, you know, what we've learned in the Big Ten tournament and just the journey we've been on this season, I think, you know, we can be one of those teams that, you know, really just gets it going.
To kind of go along with that, when you look at your own team right now, what specific areas are maybe more tailored toward, you know, tournament play in March? Are any specific areas that make you think that this IU team is kind of built for a tournament run like that?
I'd say the biggest thing is just everything we've been through this season. I think nothing that comes at us is going to be unexpected. You know, I feel like we've been through just about every major scenario that you go through in a season. So, you know, like Notre Dame, whether you're down 16, you know, we've been through that. You know, at a hostile Duke crowd, we've been through that. And, you know, we've gotten better from everything, wins and losses throughout the year. And no matter what happens, I think as long as the young guys, you know, are wanting it as bad as the old guys and playing it like it's their last game, and, you know, really just playing as hard as they can and staying connected at the same time. You know, the 5 guys out there, all the guys on the bench are connected. I think we can be really special.
Nick, can you just talk about, I mean, how hard it was not to be playing basketball this last weekend, but also, I mean, what did you guys learn from Friday's game?
Well, yeah, we definitely didn't, you know, play how we wanted to. We've seen the film, looked slow at times, and you know, we dissected it well today and yesterday, and you know, there's things we can learn, and we realized that we were kind of out of character with some things, and that we could definitely get better at.
Yogi, what's this like for you going into, you know, your last NCAA tournament?
You know, my feelings are especially high, and I'm gonna be playing as hard as I've ever played probably in these games right here. You know, I know I play hard, but especially for this one, because, you know, I feel like our team definitely deserves it, and, you know, we work so hard. You know, like Max said, everything we've been through, so emotions are very high. You know, we're very excited, you know, humbled by this moment, you know, where we got picked, and we just got to go in with confidence.
All right, guys, thanks.